Trimming a surface means that you can calculate how one or multiple surfaces intersect with other surfaces, and along their intersection you can literally think about it as scissor, cut along and remove surface parts or split surfaces. To do the trim, which you find under Surface Edit, we first actually have to find the intersection. To do this, we can click Intersect. First, if we double click it, you have two options. I actually, by default, most times would like to go with both surfaces. So I start, for example, with the sphere, click Go or spacebar, and then click every surface I would like the sphere to intersect with. And you see the moment I clicked on this rectangle, this green line was created. That is actually the intersection curve. Click this one and we're good. If, for example, I move this one up and down, you see this intersection line follows it. Now this intersection line, think about it as the path for our X-Acto knife to cut along. Now we can go to trim. For example, I would like to keep maybe the middle part. So I click my sphere, click the middle part and say keep. Here, for example, I would like to cut away the opening. So I can click inside this ring. Alias understands what area or surface I'm talking about and say discard. Here I click outside and say discard. So you see, that's pretty much the way how the trim command works. The trim command also is parametric. It's inside the design history, so I can actually lower the surface and you see the trimming follows it. I can also rotate, for example. So this is pretty nice. Now, to explain what doesn't work, you see here this plane and this plane, they intersect, but they do not completely cut through. And for the trim to work, one surface has to really, at least from edge to edge, cut through it. Or, for example, I'm going to scale this one. It really has to completely go over one side to the other side. So now with this surface, I can actually cut this surface. However, I cannot use this smaller one to cut this surface. In Alias, that doesn't work. Some other programs, they can project and extend the cut line, but Alias doesn't allow you to do that. You can also use actually curves to be projected onto a surface and then use those curves on a surface, which are literally the same as the intersection curves, to trim a surface. To do this, you can select the project tool. There are different options: curves on surface. You can project along X, Y, Z, a normal, or a picked vector, or the view. View is what I'm going to use, which means looking at the screen, those two profiles are being projected right onto the surface. So you can either pick a view, and actually I go into orthographic because this way they all line up perfectly. And then it asks you to select the surface to project onto. You can press Go or spacebar and select those curves to project, spacebar. And there you see the green lines on the surface. Those are actually the projected curves. You see they're green. That means actually there's a design history that got added. So I can actually go ahead and adjust the position or the shape of those points, and everything updates accordingly. Now to trim, all I need to do, trim maybe this surface, click on that part, discard, If I select this curve, move it up, you see this adjusts. So that's a way how you can also use curves to be projected onto a surface to be used then to trim it.